Okay, hi guys. I've had a few requests for a tutorial type video on how I play my Skull Servants. I am simplifying the deck a little bit here for you guys. There's less tech options that I would normally run, just to make it easier to follow along. We'll play 2 or 3 games once I've run through the deck and show you how it plays, talk about why I make the decisions I do, and hopefully we'll have some fun. Okay, let's start with the main deck. We are running an almost full skull package. 3 of everything except Whitemare, just the 2 of. In my main deck I only run 1, but it is a good card, it comes up. And no princesses, because she got power crept. She's a great card, just not in a grass deck. Okay, 1 Max C. Yeah, that's a tough one. I was running 3 Max C, but I feel like in Master Duel, with the power level that we have, all the unlimited cards, even if you resolve a Max C, you can still die that turn. So I'm just running it at 1, mostly as a cross-out designated target. Uni-Zombie, because Dad Boy good. Okay, standard cards, 3 Ash. Ghost Belt I love in Master Duel. I would probably run more than 1 if I had them. Okay, 3 Mizuki, 3 Wolf, because you want them cards in the graveyard. Raiden is your charge target, and Felis is your curious target. Fairy Tale Snow is probably the best card in the deck. You'll see why when we play. Yeah, she just stops plays from happening all on her own. Scythe, because I play the Scythe lock. Now, Union Carrier into Buster Whelp is a better, more efficient way of playing the same lock. But I have these cards. And you can go into Savage Dragon if you have another level 3 on board at the time of resolving. 3 left arm offering to get to grass, 3 charge of the Light Brigade. I love this card. It's mainly an Ash target, and people fall for it every time. You play this card, they let off their Ash, and then you're free to play that grass. 1 for 1, because Skull Servants love 1 for 1. 2 Super Poly. I don't play this in my main deck, but everyone knows Super Poly, so hopefully you guys can follow along a little easier. And it's a great card. 2 Called By. The rest of these are standard cards. 2 Called By, 3 Designator, 3 Droplets. Droplets are superb in Skull Servants. We want to discard, and 3 Imperm. Okay, extra deck. So we've got our 2 Super Poly targets, standard. Wonder Magician is part of our Scythe lock. You get our 2 level 8 synchros. Yeah, need no explanation. Levier is absolutely superb in Skull Servants. We want to recycle our Mizukis. You could run more. I find 1 is okay. Minerva. In my main deck, I've started running Trick Clown. I'm using a lot more rank 4s, but we still have the Wolves. We still have the Mizukis. Uni can become level 4. We do get Minerva off quite often. Link Karibo, Relinquished Anima. We use these if our normal summon ends up being something like a Prince or a Baking. It's a great way to get it into the graveyard. Anima's amazing if they put the card in the wrong column. Security Dragon. I never see people playing this card, but I love this card. If you've got your Link Kuriboh out and then you manage to get this underneath it, it will get rid of almost any monster on the field. It's a great card. Hulk, again, part of our Scythe play, as is Dagda. Curious is also it's annoying. Curious is also part of our Scythelock play for our first turn. That's if we start with a white baking normal summon, which isn't ideal. You can get to the Curious, which sends the Felis, which summons itself back, and then you go into Hulk plays and it gets you there. And then access code, because he does everything. He's amazing. That's it. It's a really simple deck. All we're aiming to do is get that grass off, or go into a first turn Scythelock and play from there. Yeah, so I'll call this deck 101. Let's go into some games, see how we do. Yeah, we're on our way. Need to get to Plat 1. Change decks. Like I say, this deck is much simpler than my main deck, so we may just get owned. But sometimes, you know what, simple does work out best. Okay, I'm guessing they're going first. We are going first. This deck really, I mean, it's Master Duel. Going first is kind of optimal. But, I mean, that's a great first hand. Okay, normally I would Uni-Zombie first, just to sort of bait out any Ash, but we have called by, so we'll just fire it off straight away. Boom, there they all go. And here come our monsters. Okay. And we'll just activate all the effects we can. This is really interesting with Uni in hand at this point. Oh, here we go. So what's left? We've got 3. So always, this is a good time to check what got milled into the graveyard. Not much of our Skull Servant engine got milled, so it's a little bit annoying. Yeah, I do like to take a king here, but this is the correct play. So yeah, we'll send the prince. And start filling up the graveyard. I'm just going to quickly check, see if our scythe got milled. There's like a 50% chance it did. If it didn't, it didn't. Okay. That means we can go into our Scythelock play. So we'll send 1. So we could send the final white prince, but no need at this point. Yeah, I generally, a lot of players who use Skull Servants will get a Plague Spreader out at this point. I don't bother with Plague Spreader, to be honest. What we'll do with get a king out. Yeah, this is a bit of a weird way of playing. We'll use one of our Mizukis and we'll get out a lady. With the lady we will go into a Levier. Because I got the other uni, but the Levier will just get back to Mizuki. That just summon the lady, and then it'll end up back in the graveyard. So it's just a little tiny loop. I'm kind of expecting our opponent to quit in a second. It's funny, we'll use the same Mizuki we just got back to go into the deck though. And then we'll use him again in the graveyard to summon out the same lady that we used to get him from banished. Yeah, like, would you like some loops? And the lady will protect the king in the short term. Oh, actually, we have a lady up here, so we'll get the free one. And we'll also use this lady, we'll use Wonder Magician plus the lady to go into a Savage Dragon. I do need to make sure I have a link in the graveyard for that Savage. I don't think I do. Oh, that's annoying. Oh, you know what, it doesn't matter. We can always go into Chaos Dragon Lord dude instead. So yeah, we have a called by a Super Poly, Scythe incoming. We've still got snow in the graveyard as a disruption. It's all over. Nothing beats this board, really. The king can't be affected by spells. And with any luck, we'll get a baking off of this guy. Just as further protection for king. Bad luck. Yeah, we'll take the Skull Servant. And it's all over. Yeah, that's Skull Servants. Doesn't always go that way. A lot of the time, if you get grass off, your scythe will get milled into the graveyard. Which sucks. We don't really have a good opening board other than the scythe.